This is She Creates Business, a podcast for wedding pros. Your host, Kinsey Roberts, interviews incredible women in the wedding industry who are making their mark and creating success on their terms. Join the conversation.
Well, hello there and happy Tuesday. Welcome to She Creates Business, a podcast for wedding pros. This is your host, Kinsey Roberts. Today is Tip Tuesday. It is one of my favorite days of the week because it is the day where I bring you just a quick 10 to 15 minute episode with strategic, actionable tips that I am trying in my own wedding business, testing out, giving a shot, whatever you want to call it, and in the hopes that it might be something that works for you, or maybe you want to share it with a friend. Take what you like, leave the rest, and we'll just jump right in. I want to talk to you today about the 6 places I am going to put opt-ins on my new website over at vistaviewevents.com. I am currently remodeling that site, so it's just a landing page right now that allows people to contact us because I am redesigning it. And once the new website is live, which I will share with you, you'll be able to see all of these locations, but I thought it would be a great time to tell you how I'm redesigning the site to make it more functional for couples who visit us or people who want to plan an event at the venue, and how I want to strategically insert places that people can opt in so that we have more of a chance of getting people on our email list so we can stay in touch with them and book more brides today, in the future, next year, forever. I hope that makes sense. So the first place is the most obvious place. It's what I talk about all the time with the opt-in shop. And that is, of course, content upgrades for blog posts that I write. Now, the opt-in shop has a lot of these. If you haven't visited yet, head over there right now. It's shecreatesbusinesspodcast.com/shop. But if you are writing a blog post and there is additional information that you can include as a content upgrade, or if you could even just make the blog post a more consumable format in a content upgrade, you can include that in the middle or at the end of the blog post for the person to opt into and give you their email list, their email address, and then they get the content upgrade. And so an example of this might be if you are doing, I'll use the vendor selection planner as an example over from the opt-in shop. Now, let's say you're going to do 15 questions you should ask your venue before you book. You can write the blog post, include those 15 questions, and then say, hey, there's 25 more questions included, plus, a meeting planner down, in this content upgrade. Click here to insert your email address, download it. Hooray. They get more questions. You've already provided amazing content, and now you have a content upgrade. And you could actually do that as a series with every single vendor in the wedding vendor selection planner. So that's an example of a content upgrade. The other thing you can do is do it at the beginning of the blog post, actually. So especially if you're going to sit down and write a really meaty blog post that's super long that no one has time to read because we all have the attention span of a gnat. What you can do is at the top of the blog post, you can say, interested in reading this but don't have time, click here to get it sent to your email. Boom, done. And you can just send them a PDF copy of the blog post so that they can read it at their convenience. I didn't actually make that up. I learned that from Tim Page from Lead Pages. He is a genius, and I've probably sat on every webinar he's ever done. I'm just kidding, I haven't. He's done like 400 in 1 year. But Tim Page at Lead Pages, definitely, that's one of his recommendations for using content upgrades. And I think it's brilliant because a lot of times I want to personally do that because I don't have time to read a blog post, but I don't want to forget about it. So I do like it to get sent to my email. So that's an option. Number 1, where I'm putting opt-ins in our new website, blog post content upgrades. Number 2 is, of course, the homepage. Now, I recommend putting a really meaty opt-in on the homepage because it immediately builds trust and it gets them going right away. So if I'm a couple or a bride or a groom and I'm sitting on your homepage and I see a free wedding planner, boom, I'm opting in for that because I'm getting married and I want a free wedding planner, right? And I don't want to go spend $45 on one at Barnes & Noble. So it doesn't have to be a wedding planner, but I hope that makes sense. I hope you get my point there. Something really meaty that will immediately get their attention. Or like the wedding vendor selection planner over in the opt-in shop. That's 93 pages long. That is a meaty opt-in. Or even the vow writing worksheets. That's 24 pages long. That's a meaty opt-in. So something meaty, it doesn't have to be something crazy that takes you 16 hours to make. But if you wanted to make someone a wedding planner, you could certainly do that. Or maybe you want to walk your couples through your entire process of, if you're a floral designer or if you're a calligrapher or whatever. Maybe you want to create, 3 to 5 pages of your entire process and give them some examples of your work. And boom, you put that on the front page. You grab their email address, you build trust because you're being so open about your process, and you're ready to go, right? So those are some examples of what you can put on your homepage. That's number 2 of where I'm going to put an opt-in on our new website. Number 3 is actually on the confirmation page, or it might be also be called the thank you page of my Acuity Scheduling account. So I use Acuity Scheduling to book tours at the venue. And in Acuity, you can actually add a message and including links on the thank you page / appointment confirmation page. So when my brides click book, when they're done, like chose their date and time in Acuity, they click book, boom, they're on my schedule. They see their appointment confirmation page / thank you page. And on that page, I can say, thank you so much for scheduling your tour. I'm so excited to see you. In the meantime, here is a wedding planner, or here is our vendor selection planner, or here are some vow writing worksheets, or anything, insert opt-in here. So that's the third place I'm going to put opt-ins because I think it's a really solid place. They're already interested in us. If they've booked a tour, like they're halfway there, right? They're interested enough to come over and visit the venue. And so offering additional information that can be helpful to them in the form of a valuable opt-in, I'm game for it. So that's number 3, putting it on the thank you page of Acuity Scheduling. If you use Acuity and you don't know how to do that, let me know. I'd be happy to show you. It's really easy. Number 4 is our About page. Our About page is one of the most trafficked pages on our site, and I'll venture to guess that yours is pretty high up there too. And I think I've talked about this before. About pages tend to be a highly trafficked web page because it's human interest. People are interested in you. They want to know what you're doing. They want to know everything about you. So put a content upgrade on there. Throw it in, somewhere in your bio if it makes sense, or just put it on the bottom with a nice image. Why not, right? Like you're getting a lot of traffic there, so you might as well. Like for example, if I was going to toss a content upgrade on the About page of SheCreatesBusinessPodcast.com, I might toss in like my toolkit opt-in, which is on my homepage, but I might toss that in. Like if you're interested in tools that wedding pros use, you probably want this because the About page is really trafficked. And so same is true with the venue. Any opt-in that you're using, this would be another great place for a processes opt-in, or maybe if you don't want to do such a meaty one, this would be another great place for like a one-pager. Maybe it's a checklist. Maybe it's a, just a daily planning page, whatever you want it to be. But that's number 4, put an opt-in on your About page. And if you're like, oh, gross, Kinsey, I don't want to put a bunch of like opt-in boxes on my site, then put it use a link and stick it in your bio somewhere. Use a tool like Lead Pages, and you can use a feature they have called Lead Links, where you can just link up a word, and if somebody clicks that word, boom, the opt-in box shows up. So you don't have to always use, big, ugly opt-in boxes. They don't have to be ugly, but you know what I'm saying. Number 5 is, of course, your blog sidebar. If you are blogging for your business, and you should be, shouldn't we all be? I actually just did a blog post about blog topics. That's very meta because I am so bad at blogging, but I want to get better. I want to be better and do better. So if you're not blogging for your business, you probably should start, or at least start creating some sort of helpful content in some capacity. So blog sidebar, this would be another great place for a meaty opt-in like the vendor selection planner or a wedding planner, or, a 3 to 5 pager about your processes, or something that you think your ideal client or your ideal audience would find helpful. Something to catch their attention because it's on your sidebar with other information. You want it to catch their attention, and you want it to be valuable enough, of course, for them to exchange their email for it. Now, I know I keep saying the word meaty and, a lot of information, but I think it's really important to say that opt-ins don't have to be some gargantuan thing that takes you hours and hours and hours to make. It just has to work, right? Tara Gentile says, what does she say? It's something like, I'm going to butcher this, but she says something like, basically your information doesn't help anyone if it doesn't actually create change. So value, here's what she says, value is transformation. So you can offer transformation in one page. So if you can offer transformation one page, do that. It doesn't have to be 93 pages to offer transformation. I want that to be super clear. So Tara Gentile says that. I completely butchered that, but I think you get what I'm saying. So don't take 20 hours to make an opt-in if you can do the same amount or even better in 1 to 2 pages is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so that was number 5, the blog sidebar. And finally, number 6, and I'm probably going to think of more, and if I do, I'll let you know. But finally, number 6 is the signature of our emails. So we have signatures. We use a Chrome extension called WiseStamp, and it allows us to have signatures that are automatically populated into our Gmail emails. And so I'm going to pop in an opt-in in there. I'm creating a wedding planner right now, so I'm probably going to pop in either the vendor selection planner or the wedding planner, because I do like to offer a lot of value in the form of something that's helpful to a bride. And so that's just me. And I don't really have a one-pager right now that I think is really transformational. So I'm probably going to pop in something like that. But like I say, pop in anything. Like, for example, in my podcast signature, I just have a link to the podcast. It's not an opt-in, but I have a link to the show. Like, hey, you want to listen to the show? Here's my link. And so yeah, signature of your email, pop in an opt-in. Like, hey, you need a free wedding planner? Don't know what to ask your photographer, don't know what to ask your floral designer, don't know what to ask your calligrapher. Make it something that's kind of catchy but small, because it's your email signature, and send them on over there and give them some value. We're emailing people all day, so let's make it worth it, right? That's it. Those are the 6 places that I'm working on right now, friends. Let me just recap those for you. These are the 6 places I'm putting opt-ins on my new website. I guess number 6 isn't actually my website, but you feel me on that. Number 1, blog post content upgrades. Number 2, homepage. Number 3, the thank you page / appointment confirmation page of my Acuity scheduling account. Number 4 is the about page of my website. Number 5 is our blog sidebar. And number 6 is the signature of my email in our Gmail account. And once again, that tool that I use for my signature that automatically populates in Gmail because it's a Chrome extension is called WiseStamp. So thank you so much for listening today. If you are interested in opt-ins that you don't have to create, that are plug and play, the Opt-in Shop is your girl. It's not a girl. I don't know why I call it a girl. It just is, okay? This is She Creates Business. Head over to shecreatesbusinesspodcast.com/shop and you can grab yours so that we can all start building our email lists together. Happy Tuesday. Happy holidays if you're in the United States. And if you're not, hope you're having a great December. I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for listening to She Creates Business. Please take a minute and head to iTunes to leave an honest review so we can help more wedding pros find the show.